All right, hello and good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, and we unlocked the Flamethrower. We are very excited to show that off. Sorry, I'm just checking my sound. Something's off again. Sounds like something's off with my sound again. I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. I don't understand why I didn't deserve this, but we are here. It is Monday. We get to play with a flamethrower. Very, very excited for that. So let's go play with our flamethrower. It is the cremator. What are we even doing? We need to go down here. We need to hold. We need to hold this planet, Reba. Yeah, we're not doing that. We are losing that major order for certain, but you know what? Let's go cremate some Illumina anyways. For funsies. Off we go. So good morning, happy Monday. I am very happy to be here. I hope you're happy to be here. It is almost the new month, which means it's almost payday. This month has been so long. I am ready for it to be over. I am ready for payday. I'm ready to pay some bills. Ready to be an adult. Alright, so we got the new cremator, which is this backpack fed flamethrower. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab those. And let's grab Ben's here. Good morning, Ben. Long time no see. How's it going? I saw you talking in my comments. Glad you could make it. Glad to see you. Super well, super sleepy. I feel it. My alarm went off exactly 13 minutes ago, and I wasn't exactly feeling it this morning. A part of me was like, just roll over and go back to bed, but no. That's how it starts. You skip one stream because you're not feeling it, then you skip the next stream because something comes up, and then all of a sudden you're no longer a streamer. You know, you gotta be consistent with it. So even when you're tired, even when you're not feeling it, you gotta do it. Alright, this may not be good. Help me out with some watch time. I appreciate that. It's been a rough this month has been probably my worst month on YouTube. Like I have no joke lost like half my audience. I've lost 500 watch hours. Like I'm just, for whatever reason, this month is not my month for streaming and for making content. And like I made a video about it, might just because like I'm running low on things to say. I've said all the things I wanted to say. I've done all the things I want to do. So now it's figuring out what's next. You know, what's the part 2? What's next on the agenda? Something I've always wanted to do is write a book. So maybe that's the next big thing I need to sit down and start doing is writing a book. That's always something I wanted to do. So maybe that's the next thing on the agenda. Oh boy, we need some other people to join this match already. We're kind of outnumbered here. Turn down the volume. Am I too loud? My volume has also been very problematic the last few days. So if I'm too loud or the background noise is too loud, definitely tell me. I'm trying to get it fixed. For some reason, it does not want to cooperate with me anymore. What book ideas do I got? The book I have always wanted... There's 2 books I've always wanted to write. There's a children's book that I have written. I've just never gotten it published. I've yet to find a home for it to be published. So there's a children's book that I want to finish getting published. I've already written. I need to get it illustrated. And then there is a bunch of Catholic book ideas that I have, and I try to narrow down what book I actually want to write for the Catholic book. Like, there's, of course, my testimony. There's tips and tricks that I've shared throughout the years for being a better Catholic. There's one that I've been tinkering with the idea on, and it's basically trying to talk about in Catholicism, we have like the vocations, and a lot of people, your vocation is marriage. So you spend a large portion of your life being told, hey, you're special, you're going to do great things, you're this excellent, unique, wonderful human being. And I'm not saying that's not true. However, excuse me. A lot of our vocation is to marriage. So our special, unique thing, the thing that we're going to do great in life, isn't sports. It's not making videos. It's not writing books. It's not the exciting things we want it to be. Sometimes the thing that we're put on this earth to be is just a good husband or a good wife. And it's not flashy. It's not necessarily exciting, but that's literally like what we were created for. When we talk about God knew us in the womb, when God created us, that's a part of it, right? God created us knowing that we were going to be married, and that our vocation was marriage, and that good thing we were going to do was marriage. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, because it's a very tough concept, right? Because again, everyone wants to be a good sports star. Everyone wants to be great at football, or wants to be a amazing artist or something like that. But the truth of the matter is, just not everyone is put on this earth to be said amazing artist, cook, creator, songwriter. Sometimes it's just as simple as you're a good spouse, and that is what you were created to do. So that's been around my mind. And then there's, of course, we always talk about the to be happy, you have to work out your brain, you have to work out your body, and you have to work out your spirit. It's a very simple concept that I feel like the world could do a lot better with if more people understood that and took that to heart. So that's something I want to share with the world as well. And like, taking my own advice, the last few days I've been struggling a lot with there's that little bit of sad, that big sad was coming in again, a little bit of depression, and it was because Emmy got her wisdom teeth out, so she's been out of commission for a while now, and I didn't realize I'd been in the house for just a week straight. I'd been taking care of her, making sure she's okay, all that sort of thing. Well, I hadn't gone out into nature, I hadn't gone for a walk, I hadn't done anything but that for a week straight. So was I depressed, or did I just need to go get a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of hiking in? I went for a walk, took some photos, spent some time outside, and look at that, I'm doing better. So it's definitely crucial to the human experience to get out there and do a little bit of nature walking every now and then. I think people would be a lot better if we could all acknowledge sometimes you just got to go for a nature walk. I started having ChatGPT help me write a book getting reincarnated as a goblin, opening the world's first bank. I dig that. Fantasy heists, but from the other perspective. On the same spectrum as goblins, I have been feeling a call to a Dungeons & Dragons game. I always have these ideas. I'm pretty sure this one won't work. And I'm the first person to say, we need to stop hacking Dungeons & Dragons. Not everything needs to be Dungeons & Dragons, but I've been having this idea that's been bouncing around my head for a Dungeons & Dragons game where the party plays as a small group of kobolds, and your goal is to be kobold firefighters. Sorry, I got mowed down by a sentry too. This guy was complaining about it. Those sentries are out for blood today. But yeah, kobold firefighter group sounds like an absolute blast of a game. So that's kind of what I want to tinker around with also. I also have half written a Five Nights at Freddy's Dungeons and Dragons experience. I've got like the characters written and mapped out. I just need to finish writing the story and the other bits and pieces of it. So I need to finish that as well. So that's another thing I need to write, is finish Five Nights at Charlie's, my horror Dungeons and Dragons Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff. So I got a lot of stuff to write. I just need to sit down and actually do it. I also need to sit down and learn how to edit a photo really good, because I took a photo that I think could be my best photo yet. I just need to actually edit it. I need to learn to edit it properly, because I just don't have the skills to edit it how I want to just yet. Which is cool. It means that my photography skills are growing, and now I need to work on the other end, the editing skills. Honestly, I've never wanted to be a great editor, because I've always struggled with over-edited photography, so I like to have my photos a little bit on the lower end of editing, but this photo I think can tell a story, so I want to make sure that I give it the proper love and attention to be able to tell that story properly. This new backpack fed flamethrower is a ton of fun. I love this cremator. It has been an absolute blast for dealing with these dudes. Great driving. Great driving. So yeah, that's what's on my agenda. I've also had this weird want to create some Furby content. I don't know if you saw, but I have been creating some Furby content lately. Pickles the Furby on TikTok. I've got some really weird and strange Furby-based content there that I have been super wanting to create, and it has been an absolute blast to create. So, you know, sometimes you got to flex those creative muscles in different ways, and Furby content was my other interesting content to create. I also want to write a Furby horror story. That is definitely also on the agenda, a Furby-based, cheesy, over-the-top horror film is somewhere in there. So I have plenty to write. So much to write, so little time. Burninating the people. Alright, let's see if we can hit this guy with a grenade. Boom! Alright, I don't know if flamethrowers work on these. Flamethrowers work on those guys. Alright, flamethrowers work on basically everything. I am so surprised that did not kill me. I just got white phosphorus. I cannot believe we lived through that. I am genuinely shocked. Good morning, Teddy. Choose your next words carefully. See, are we missing one more shell? Is that... Oh, it broke. Our objective broke. Ooh, it's gone. Thank you for the Hail Mary, Teddy. That is a good way to start the day. We could all benefit from a few more Hail Marys throughout the day. It's interesting to see how many people, probably scrupulous or maybe not well educated in the faith, how many people are talking about that new film that just came out, Project Hail Mary, and asking whether or not it's blasphemous or offensive that they named the movie Project Hail Mary when it has nothing to do with Hail Mary. And like, I think most people, I hate to use the most normal people, but no, I think most people felt like, oh, hey, they're doing Hail Mary like in the terms of like a football throw that you think like, this is our last ditch effort, we have nothing else, so this is our Hail Mary, like we have nothing else to do. Like, it's a very common saying, so I don't feel like the whole like, is it offensive, is it wrong, like it's a very common saying. But there was a lot of people who were upset that they named the movie Project Hail Mary because they were afraid that it was offensive to name it that. I do want to see it though. I've heard that it's a very good movie. It is on my agenda to see that movie. We're waiting for the rest of Invincible to come out. We watched the first 3 episodes of Invincible, and then Emmy asked if we can wait to watch the rest because she wants to watch the full season all at once rather than 1 episode at a time. So we have to be good and patient to watch the rest of the Invincible season. But that is, Invincible season 4 so far has been amazing. I think, I don't know if I'd say Invincible is the best animated show, but it's really high up there. I'm tempted to say that it's tough. Like, Avatar: The Last Airbender might be the greatest animated show ever made, but then there's also Blue Eye Samurai, and Blue Eye Samurai like is incredible in so many ways. So it's hard to narrow down like the best animated series of all time. But Invincible is up there. Avatar: The Last Airbender is up there. Blue Eye Samurai is up there. There's no real Easter video games. Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a couple games like you see like Stardew Valley, for example. You can celebrate Easter in Stardew Valley with like an Easter egg hunt, so that exists. But I don't think there's any games that have a central theme around Easter. Ooh, we need those stems. We'll take that, and we'll take those grenades. Perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. World of Warcraft has some Easter stuff, so there's also that one. World of Warcraft does Easter events. Yeah, the Noble Garden. It'll be interesting to see. Apparently, they have added this year, they have added the running of the Dark Spear Trolls, which is going to be an official LGBTQIA event where everyone makes naked trolls and runs them around for Pride Fest. And I feel like that is going to go very, very poorly, very, very quickly. So we'll see how that goes, but I definitely don't have high hopes for that event. They banned Brewfest in Germany, but it's a German holiday. Why did they ban Brewfest? What do they got against Brew? I mean, the Brewfest holiday in game has never been great, so it's not a huge loss. But why did they ban that? Oh, there's. Oh, is this the new? It is. The trenching stuff works really well. Look at that. We found a bunch of stuff underground. Very cool. Very cool trench tool. Underage drinking, probably. You know, of all the things that are problematic in World of Warcraft, I don't think underage drinking is the thing right now. I think the Xalatath foot fetish stuff is getting way out of pocket, as the kids say. That one, I really wish they would put an end to that. That's a problem and a half. I really played Helldivers 1. I really want to go back and play Helldivers 1. I never played Helldivers 1, and I've always been meaning to go back and play Helldivers 1. But there is another new game that just came out that I really want to play, which is Way of the Hunter 2. It's a hunting simulator, so I think that's the next game we're going to invest in, is a hunting game. Alright, that guy's doing that. Let's throw some sentries up. And lock this down. Where are you even at, Pink? There's a bunker. You're halfway across the map, dude. Well, we'll get there when we get there. That's way too far away. But yeah, the Xalatath stuff is really getting old in World of Warcraft. I don't think humans will win this war. I approve Helldivers 3. That is something I have said since I started playing this game, and it becomes more and more true every day, and I hope eventually the devs will listen to me, is that Helldivers 2 is made in an abandoned engine that no one knows how to code in. There's like 100 people in the world that know how to play this engine, and it's eventually going to become impossible for them to update it. And every time they update the game, it breaks something, or something goes wrong, or it's too buggy. They really do need to invest in saying, okay, Helldivers 2 was great, people loved it. Let's make Helldivers 3 like an Unreal Engine 5 so that we can actually hire programmers who know how to program the game and make it. KFC, good morning. How's it going? Alright, launch. Let's go. Mission complete. But yeah, I really do think that they need to do that, and they need to do something. I think they need to do something about their DLC problem as well. And that is right now, it costs almost $300 to buy all the DLC for Helldivers 2. And that looks a little, like, obtuse looking at from, like, the outside in. Like, if you're a new player looking at games saying, I have to pay $300 to unlock all the content, like, no thank you. And I totally understand why people would be turned off from a game that's charging $300 to unlock everything. So they need to start doing either, like, sales or specials, or, like, year one DLC where they take all the war bonds and put it into a special pack at half price or something, because there's just $300 is too much. And I know in the grand scheme of things, like if you look up like European Train Simulator, you can literally pay like $5,000 in DLC for that game. Helldivers is past its prime. That's what I'm saying, that it's time for them to start thinking of Helldivers 3, and it's time to start thinking of sales and ways to keep what they have. I don't think Helldivers 2 will ever reach the same numbers it had in the past, and I think that they're in a real trouble with at the end of this year, Blizzard is going to be launching their StarCraft based shooter, and StarCraft is still insanely popular. Blizzard is still pretty popular. I think that's going to give them a run for their money. And we can see in the reviews and all that, people are just boiling over with the constant bugs and problems, and WoW was always 50 cents. Yeah, but if we use like WoW as a comparison, if you pay $30 for World of Warcraft, you get all the expansions except for the newest one, and $15 a month gives you content, like thousands and thousands of hours of content. And Helldivers $15 will buy you a war bond, but 90% of that war bond you're not even going to use. So finally got Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm going to have a lot of fun with the Sword and Shield. Monster Hunter Wilds was such a disappointment to me at launch. They finally fixed a lot of things, but it's still, I don't know what it is, but the magic of Monster Hunter World isn't there. So I'm hoping that the first expansion they lost, like Monster Hunter Ice World, was very, very good, very, very popular. So I'm hoping that the next expansion for Monster Hunter Wilds brings back that magic. I'm also super excited for Monster Hunter is going to be releasing a Monster Hunter MMO on your phone. Very excited for that. I'm excited for mobile. There needs to be good mobile games. I know that the mobile game industry has become a joke in that it's all just gotcha games and weird adult ads, but I feel like there's still space for good mobile games somewhere in there. Like Umamasame was a really fun and good mobile game. We need more games like Umamasame Pretty Derby. We need more of that. Although technically it's a gacha game too. I miss that feeling I first got when I played World, but I think they can pull it off. And I think the expansion. A lot of people forget that that Monster Hunter Worlds had a lot of problems when it launched too, and when Iceborne came out, that was really when it started to shine. So I'm more than willing to buy the expansion for it, and more than willing to give it a shot, because they can do an expansion right. As compared to Borderlands 4, which released its DLC yesterday, and people are really, really mad about the new DLC for Borderlands 4. And it sounds like they have every right to be. iPad games on PC now. MapleStory M just launched on PC. That was my iOS MapleStory 2019. I don't mind them bringing mobile games to PC so you can play them both there. Like Genshin Impact. For a while there, I was really into Genshin Impact, and I was super into. I'd play it on my phone, and then I'd play it on PC and PlayStation when I was home. I don't mind that. But also, like, if you want to make a computer game, right? It needs to be a mobile game first and foremost. I have a rule though. I have my phone is set to auto download. Basically, every new game in certain genres comes out, it automatically downloads. Because I like mobile games. I'm trying to find good mobile games. It's very hard to find good mobile games. And my rule is how jiggly the physics are, especially in the first 2 minutes, is inverse to how good the game is. So if the game has like excessive amounts of like skin showing and a huge amount of jiggle physics, I already know that game is going to be absolute garbage in the first like 10 seconds. Like the more jiggle physics, the worse it's going to be. The flamethrower is awesome. This cremator is amazing. Where's the oil at? There's no oil on this planet. All the oil is on the bug planets because we turn all the bugs into oil. Game devs hate oil. I feel like the game devs hate the audience at this point. Like, if I was the game devs, I would be so sick of dealing with the Helldivers 2 community. Like, yesterday, the drama on the Helldivers 2 forum was some guy played a GIF of a flashbang in Discord, which is pretty rude. It's pretty rude to play. Like, it's obnoxious to look at. It's annoying. I understand that. But they were accusing him of attempted murder because they said that there was someone in the Discord who was epileptic, and the flashing could trigger a seizure. That is a serious thing. I'm not downplaying that, but accusing someone of attempted murder for posting a GIF is a little extreme. Like, it's a little outrageous of a thing to say, my dude. Fun fact, element 710, the fictional material that comes from the bugs, looks like oil if you flip it upside down. Yes, I do love that. Reminds me of the old days, early 2000s, when leet speak was all the thing, right? When you're like, yeah, I'm so 1337, and people are like, what are you talking about? Like, 1337. You turn it upside down and it spells leet. Like, it's like elite, but it's leet. Like, that was such a cringe time. Such a cringe time. But the good kind of cringe. The kind of cringe we need to bring back. Alright. We burned all those squids up. We made a fair bit of calamari on that mission. Let's do it again. Excuse me. Or like when we used to abbreviate everything. Like, do you remember when people would be like, OMFGWTF BBQS, this is my hat. Like, do you remember that whole phase where everything was just a bunch of random strings of letters? To be 13 and full of cringe again. Not gonna lie, I miss it a little bit. Just a little bit. Like 5%. Also, if today is payday after all, I have found a DJ Long Furby. It's about yay long. And it plays music, and it's super long. I'm gonna wrap it around my neck, and we're gonna have a Furby boa when we stream. I hope you all are ready for more Furby-based content. Wilds feels like a mix between World and Rise. It's got the good parts of both, but I don't like Rise as much. Rise, this is gonna be such a how do I say this without sounding like such an elitist jerk? I didn't like Rise because the most efficient and best way to play was to abuse the iframes from the bug wire attacks. And I felt like with my sword and shield especially that like I could be invincible for like half the fight. And it's one of those things where this is such a problem with game devs, right? Like, given the chance, players will optimize the fun out of everything. Could I play without using the iframes? Absolutely. But like it's there, so why wouldn't I use that? So I don't know, it just sucked the fun out of it that I felt like I was just immortal with the iframes. And because it was built for the Switch, you know, it felt like it was smaller in scale. It just didn't feel as grand. Honestly, the best Monster Hunter game for me, I would love a Monster Hunter Dungeons and Dragons game where you got really into the nitty-gritty of like crafting weapons and survival and all those things. I really feel like that would be the peak Monster Hunter game, would be Monster Hunter Dungeons and Dragons survival mode. Blaze, good morning! How's it going this morning? I guess, yeah, arcadey would probably be the way to put it. You're right. Arcadey is probably the best way to describe it. Good morning. You made it. Or I guess good afternoon for you. I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday. It's payday. The month is almost over. I've been talking about the books I want to write. I think I'm going to sit down and start writing again. It's been a little bit. I got some Dungeons and Dragons adventures that I want to make, so I got plenty of stuff coming up that I want to do. I really want to make my Kobold Firefighters. That's my obsession right now. A squad of like 4 cute little chaotic kobolds running around Baldur's Gate trying to fight fires, I think would make an amazing D&D game. So that's what I'm trying to put together right now, is figure out the logistics of that. That's my newest little obsession. I need to finish writing my Five Nights at Freddy's horror Dungeons and Dragons adventure. I took a couple pictures too. I'll show you some pictures at the end of the thing today. I did some good photography. Waffles did a good photo. I kind of got distracted playing Pokemon Go. I'm trying to get Mew. I am so shocked that people still play Pokemon Go. Like, Pokemon Go's been out for like, what, 12 years now? 13? I'm so shocked that it's got staying power, right? Like, it's still relevant. People are still enjoying it. I'm so shocked that it still exists. Like, I thought for sure people would have been sick of it by now. And yet it continues to endure. I am glad, though. I'm glad it's not as popular. Not because I'm a Pokemon hater, though I am a Pokemon hater. I was sick and tired of... Do you remember there was like a... there was that period of time where everything was a Pokemon Go clone. We got like Harry Potter Go, and we got Monster Hunter Go, and we got... Everything had to be a Pokemon Go clone. I'm glad we have moved past the need for all the Pokemon Go clones. There were too many Pokemon Go clones for a while there, so I'm glad it's less popular for that. I got sick of all those. That being said, though, did you all see Digimon announced? Digimon is going to be releasing later this year. They are releasing a Digimon game that is based on the old Digimon Tamagotchis. So it's going to have monster raising. It's going to have scoreboards. It's going to have multi-evolutions. It's going to have some sort of like multiplayer integration. So I'm very hyped. I will always have a soft spot for Digimon. I feel like Digimon got the wrong end of the stick. You know, they were competing with Pokemon. It was hard to do, but I feel like Digimon always deserved to do a little bit better. Because how cool is it? Like, hey, you know, this blob digivolves into giant gun. How cool is that? So I'm very excited for that. I will definitely be playing the new Digimon game when that comes out later this year. I'm very hyped for that. I've always thought Monster Rancher. I know Monster Rancher was a little obscure. Not too many people know about Monster Rancher. I always thought Monster Rancher would do absolutely amazing as a mobile game too, where you could scan like barcodes to have things come out. I always thought that would be an absolutely amazing game that no one's done. When will it come out? They don't have an official launch date, but my guess is sometime around the end of the year, probably around October. So it'll be a little bit before we get it, but I'm excited to play it. But I would love if Monster Rancher got a mobile game that was good. I would be all about that. Monster Rancher deserves a second chance at life too. That's one of those obscure 90s games that deserves a new life. Have you ever played on a VR? Yes, I was a early adopter of VR. I had the first Quest headsets. You had to like link all the cables to your computer. I'm a huge early adopter of VR. I love VR. I love everything about VR. There hasn't been a lot of good VR games yet, but I love VR. I've got a PlayStation 2 VR, even though there's only like 6 games for PlayStation 2 VR. I want virtual reality to be the next big thing, but I fully understand that it will never be the next big thing. Barbie Dreamfest is insane. I've never what's going on with the Barbie? What's going on with Barbie? I play UG right now. What's UG? What's that stand for? Y'all saw the news like that Willy Wonka? No, what's going on in the news? I just woke up and started streaming. PlayStation 2 had VR, and it has an exclusive Five Nights at Freddy's horror VR game for PlayStation 2 VR that I really, really want to play. I also guess I should play Black Desert. Like, everyone's talking about Black Desert right now. I felt like it was so overhyped that it was never going to do well, and that seems to be an accurate sentiment, but... my controller just died. That was weird. I guess I should play Black Desert. Or is it Crimson Desert? Black Desert is the MMO. Crimson Desert is the new one that just came out. I'll tell you, one of the best VR games, honestly, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky in VR is an incredible experience. If you've never gotten to play it, No Man's Sky VR is absolutely excellent. I hate life right now because no good Pokemon are spawning, trying to wait for the good events. I mean, that's half the fun of Pokemon is hunting them, right? Like, yes, you get the thrill of like when you catch a shiny or something, but half the fun is trying to find them, right? So enjoy the hunt, savor the hunt, because that's half the fun of Pokemon. Apparently, an official Barbie company hosted an event thing called Barbie Dream House, where it's supposed to be a fun con, and the day arrives and kids were disappointed as it looks. Oh, so it was like that Willy Wonka thing that they did a while ago. That is a bummer. That's why people should put way too much faith in corporations. Every time a corporation announces a really cool thing that, like, we listen to the people and we're creating this special event based on what the people want, there's an 80% chance that that's going to be absolute garbage, right? Like, corporations exist solely to make money, so inevitably that is going to be the cheapest possible way to make an event is whatever they're going to make. So, like, people put way too much faith in corporations nowadays still. A Volcanion 2 Mews? What is a Volcanion Mew? I've been out of the Pokemon scene for a while. Although, I will admit, the more and more Emmy shows me stuff about Pokopia, the more and more I kind of regret not buying Pokopia as soon as it came out. Pokopia looks like a lot of fun. I think I'm wrong. I thought Pokopia was going to be a pointless cash grab, but it's starting to look like a really fun game. So I regret not getting Pokopia. I have regrets, as the kids say. Yeah, it looks really good. I think I judged it too harshly. I definitely think I messed up on that one. And I mean, I have a Switch 2, so I might as well, right? There's only like 3 games on the Switch 2, so I might as well buy one of the 3 games available to it. It's what I get for being a hater, right? What game are you playing right now? This is Helldivers 2. I've been spending most of my time playing Helldivers 2 and the new World of Warcraft expansion. They said Roblox will be good in the future. I don't understand why so many people are obsessed with Roblox. Roblox has never looked good to me. I don't understand the obsession with it. But I also understand, I wasn't the target audience for Roblox, so maybe I wasn't meant to understand it. Because, I'm a middle-aged man. I'm not supposed to be about that Roblox life. It's for the younger generation. I'm always thinking they're making typos, but they're just shortening words. You know what's fascinating me? Talking about the next generation, I spend a lot of time watching the teacher forums because it's endlessly fascinating to me to learn about like what Gen Alpha is doing in school. And the things that are blowing my mind right now, they were talking about this teacher got a phone call on Friday morning, and a parent was calling and saying, hey, if I don't sign up for my kid to go on the field trip, what will they have to do instead of going on the field trip? Like, will they just have to sit in class? Whose class are they going to sit in? Will they have to do work? Will they just like sit there and read a book? Like, because the kid was weighing their options on what would do less. Should I go on a field trip where I hang out with my friends all day? Or if I skip the field trip, will I just get to sit in school and do nothing? And so all these teachers are saying these kids want to do nothing, and not like they don't want to do schoolwork. The kids legitimately want to do nothing. And so these kids were legitimately asking, like, if I skip the field trip, how little work will I have to do? Because they want to do as little work as possible. And that's just mind-blowing to me, right? Like, a Friday field trip where you get to spend all day hanging out with your friends, that was like the dream as a kid, right? You go to the zoo or some boring museum, but you still get to spend all day hanging out with your friends. Like, I couldn't imagine willingly skip that, but apparently that is, they just don't want to do anything. If it's not sitting on the iPad, field trips, no. Even watching movies, apparently kids really hate watching movies in class now. Like, that was another, like, when they wheeled out the screen and we watched Bill Nye, that was a highlight. And now kids apparently just don't want to watch Bill Nye episodes anymore. It's just so mind-blowing to me. The other one that's mind-blowing to me is the amount of kids that teachers have said that are entering into like first and second grade without being toilet trained, and people have shared stories legitimately of like kids that could be toilet trained. They're aware of it, but they just choose not to be because the kids they don't want to. So they like legit go to class wearing pull-ups, and then they'll soil the pull-ups, and they'll go and change themselves. They have the full capability and motor function to change themselves. They just don't want to go to the bathroom. They're just too lazy to go to the bathroom. That one's like, how are the kids doing that? How are you so lazy that you don't even want to get up to go to the toilet? Like, that's such a mind-blowing thing to me. Watching movies in class was always peak. Definitely, it was a chance not to, like, my high school teacher, kudos to him, he pulled the ultimate scam. His name was Segato. He convinced the administration to start a new class called History Through Cinema. And I took this class my senior year, and what he did was he put together a curriculum of this class will consist of watching movies, and in those movies we will then write essays about history through watching those movies. So we watched Forrest Gump, we watched The Truman Show, we watched Cinderella Man, we watched I want to say Terminal. So he just chose a bunch of movies he wanted to watch, and he convinced the administration to let him run a class where he just watched movies all day. Like, way to go, Mr. Segato. That was a smart move. Way to play the system. It was a good class, too. It was really fun. It was a great way to start the day. In England, we don't do work. We call it residential people who don't go to state school but have a living, but more fun activities than learning. It's all the goat, just have to watch carefully to get good grades. That's going to be a tough one. I talk about Emmy and I want to have a kid next year, so we talk about a lot about raising kids. And we're probably going to end up homeschooling, so this probably won't be a conversation, but like the balance of like pushing your kid to have good grades because you want them to exceed, you want them to do well, you want them, but also in like in the grand scheme of things, high school grades matter so little, right? Like I realized this my junior year of high school. I just stopped trying because I knew I couldn't afford to go to college, so I knew I wouldn't be going to college. So, and even back then, a high school degree was basically a joke. So the question was, what was the point? What was the point if there was no difference between me getting an A or a C in the class? Because again, I knew I wasn't going to college. I knew I wasn't getting scholarships. What was the point in me trying to get A's when I knew that a C would get me the exact same thing. And how do you teach your kid that it's important to get good grades, that it's important to try, but also it doesn't matter? That's a very hard, a very delicate line to balance. So, junior year of high school, I realized that I wasn't going to college. I realized that nothing would matter with high school. So I took as few classes as possible, and I focused on working instead. And I set up where I had all of my classes and credits done, so I could only do half days. So I only had to go to school until about noon, and then I could leave school early to go work. And that work paid off because it got me a job at a bank. And that job at the bank then led to me being able to buy a house and afford everything I have. And eventually I was able to go back to college because of that job. So, like, for me, that was the right move. And I didn't fail any classes. I did the bare minimum to get, like, A's and B's. Like, I took basic intro to English my senior year instead of advanced placement English, because what was the point? And it worked out very well for me. Now, if you're going to college right out of high school, your high school grades probably matter a whole lot more, but I couldn't afford to go to college, so that just simply wasn't an option for me. The next gen has potential. We just have to bring back the old era of internet to them. You know, a lot of people talk about how cooked the next generation is. And I definitely think that the next generation has some struggles and problems, but we also have to recognize that next generation has struggles and problems because of us, right? It's not Gen Alpha's fault. It's the failures of the system. It's the failures of the school. It's the failures of the parents that are causing those things. We can't blame the children. They're 7, 8, 10 years old. It's the parents. It's the systems that are failing them. Now, the average reading level in America is at a 5th to 6th grade level. That's not a fault of all the people. That's a fault of the failing school system, showing that we're not teaching kids how to read, and parents aren't spending the time with their kids to teach them to read. Brain rot definitely plays a part of it, but whose fault is it that the kids are viewing brain rot? That's the parents' fault. Those parents are choosing to give their 8, 9, 10-year-olds iPads. Those parents could just as easily choose to say, you know what? There's no reason for a 9-year-old to have an iPad, so guess what? No iPad. And I know this is one of those easy things for me to say as someone who does not have kids, but Emmy and I agree on this. Our child will not have a cell phone or an iPad till they're at least 14 or 15. There's no reason a child that young needs an iPad. It's simply unnecessary. So that is a fault of the parents. Yeah, Cocomelon and Elsagate definitely belong on the list of bad things. Those were both awful things. Overstimulating TV. Like, you compare any modern kids show or Elsa YouTube cartoon to, like, Little Bear or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like, the difference is mind-blowing. Have you ever noticed the U.S. government's weird obsession with AI-generated videos? I have to assume the weird AI-generated videos is simply because they can be made quickly, cheaply, and they can put whatever they want in there. So it's cheaper for the Trump administration to make a video of him flying in a jet dumping doo-doo on people than it is to actually, like, shoot the movie. So they just do AI because it's faster and easier. Oh yeah, the fault definitely lies in the people too, right? Like, there's a lot of people, and I've talked about this before, right? My goal with my channel has always been first and foremost to talk about Catholicism and to spread Catholicism through good conversation and showing people a good life. That has always been the purpose of my channel, but I've never wanted to harm anyone. But I know that I can make a lot more money if I pandered to children, if I made my content specifically to pander to children and take advantage of children viewing habits and all that. I know for certain I could make more money. But that's wrong. That's disgusting and wrong. The amount of people who abuse YouTube to make money off of making horrible AI-generated content of Spider-Man farting on Elsa or things like Skibbity Bop, that is a moral failing. That is people who are actively choosing to make the world a worse place for the sake of money. That is morally bankrupt and wrong, and I will always call those people out for that is wrong and disgusting behavior. There's a reason why my average audience viewer is 30 years old, because I simply don't pander to children. I do have some younger viewers who have come to appreciate a more mature conversation and hanging out with someone who can bring an intellectual conversation to the table. But for the most part, my audience is older people who are sick of brain rot and people who come onto YouTube to scream and yell and overreact to things like Queso. I will fault Queso. I don't watch Queso's content. Everything I know about Queso has been from involuntarily getting fed clips of Queso. But it seems like all of Queso's content is encouraging his audience to come in and call him fat, and then he screams and yells about how he's not fat and he overreacts to the content. And that's his entire shtick, right? That's his content. Like, it's just overstimulating, yelling, and overreactions, which gets kids to come in and call him fat, which makes more content for him to make off of it, right? Like, that's gross. That's a manipulative and gross thing. And I understand why people want to make money. Right now, money is at a premium. Right? I understand that it's hard to come by. It's hard to come by money. So I understand trying to make as much money as possible, but you still have to be ethical about it, you know? The toilet series broke the new hope in the potential people. I mean, there's always been brain rot. Before the toilet series, you had things like salad fingers. The older folks remember, I like rusty spoons. Or Charlie the Unicorn. Charlie! Unicorn Mountain, Charlie! Let's go to Candy Mountain, Charlie! So, like, it's always existed on some level. Or badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, 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 the snake, the snake. Like, it's always been around for all the generations. I can't say that Rusty Spoons was any more intellectual than Skibbity Toilet, you know? I will admit one of my absolute favorites was the "Do You Like Waffles" song. That was on repeat in my house for a very long time. And this is how bad the brain rot got for me. I lived on 2 kilobit per second internet. To put that in perspective, a 2-minute YouTube video would take me about 12 hours to load. So I would have to load a video, go to bed, and then wake up in the morning. I could watch the video. So when I wanted to watch Do You Like Waffles, I had to download it once, and that took hours to download Do You Like Waffles, and then I would sit there and watch it on repeat for hours and hours and hours. As someone who does actually watch Queso, he's not as manipulative as you present him. It's more of a reoccurring joke nowadays. I could be wrong. I don't watch his content because that's all I ever get is him screaming at the camera about fat jokes. So definitely maybe there's more to it than that. But the only clips that have ever been shown to me, presented to me, have been him screaming that he's not fat. That's literally the only content I've ever seen of Queso. I don't know if he's making other clips. I don't. Maybe I should give it a watch. But I've never seen anything else from Queso. Jinxie is the I have no idea who that is. Never heard of him. It's kind of like that embarrassing moment when someone was talking about, I think it was like I Show Speed or something, and I was like, I have no idea who that is, and like, yeah, he's the most viewed streamer in the world. Like, I don't keep up on streamers, so I've been called queso a few times. People, I don't know if that was an insult or not, but a few people have told me that I look like queso. Maybe I'll give him a try today. Maybe I'll give queso a fair shake today. Maybe that's what I need to do, is give him a fair watch. I'm pretty sure, like, I've had people come through, people say I look like Mr. Beast, people say I look like queso, someone else asked if I was Boogie32457 or something like that. Like, I get mistaken for popular YouTubers all the time. I am dreading the day when I get recognized in public for real, though. I definitely, so here's a part of my past I'm a little ashamed of. So you know, Emmy and I used to run a ghost hunting podcast. Before I was Catholic, I was a tarot card reader. I was a ghost hunter, and our podcast was fairly successful. And we got recognized in public, and there would be people, but what it was people would send us emails and be like, hey, I saw you and Emmy out in public today, and I thought you'd want to see this, and then they would send us inappropriate male pictures. So I'm dreading that, where I get recognized out in public, and people are like, oh, it's Saint Waffles. Here's a phallic picture, Saint Waffles. I'm dreading that. So I do enjoy the anonymity, the anonymous hood, that people don't know who I am. It is nice to not be recognized. But it does feel good, right? It does feel good when someone's like, oh, hey, you're Saint Waffles. I watch you online all the time. I'm a fan. That's cool. Like, I know that's a good feeling. And I won't lie, like, I do want that feeling. But it also, it's a bittersweet thing, right? You want to be recognized, but you also, you know how humans are. You know how some fans are. You know how obsessive people get. So do you really want it? Maybe not. With 7K subs, you'll get recognized. According to the internet, 7,000 subs puts me firmly in micro niche category. Apparently, you're not even a recognizable influencer until 50,000, and I don't think I'll ever hit 50,000. That seems like a pipe dream. So maybe 10,000. My goal is to hit 10,000 at the end of the year, and so far we've only gained 5,000 subs this year. So I don't think I will hit 10,000 subs. I truly think I've kind of reached the end of my reach. At 25,000, you have a chance to get monetized. I'm already monetized. I don't talk about money too often because I don't do this for the money, but I make about $100 a month off of YouTube, just off of pure ads. Like, people don't give me money. I don't get memberships, really. I don't get supers, all that. Like, 99% of my income is just pure ad revenue, and that's how I prefer it. Like, I don't oh, excuse me. I of course don't mind if people send me money. I put that in. When people send me money, 90% of the time that goes to other people. Like, I donate that money to other people. But I don't mind putting it into my Italy fund as well. I don't mind raising a little bit of money for Italy either. But I prefer to make my money off of ads because I don't want people to give me money, right? Like, I don't want someone else to go without because they want to donate money to me. Just by watching me, I make a couple bucks off of ads, so, support me that way. I much prefer that to someone going without. But I will tell you, one of the frustrations with donations, the other day, someone on Saturday night said that they didn't have money for food, and the payday was Monday, and they just needed a little bit of money to tide them over until payday. And everyone came in and started patting themselves on the back like, oh, well, you can go to the food bank. Oh, you can call 211. Like, yeah, those resources exist, but it's 7 p.m. on a Saturday. The food bank isn't going to be open. 211 isn't going to answer. Someone is asking for help right now. None of you can get off your rear ends and do something? So I sent the dude some money via Venmo. Like, yes, go to the food bank. Food banks are wonderful, but the food bank also isn't open at 7 p.m. on a Saturday night, right? So, like, I hate how much people like, oh, well, go use these resources. Like, that is helpful, but that doesn't actually help anyone if the resources aren't available. Sometimes you just got to give someone money. So half the time when you send me $1, that's where that money goes. Is someone saying, hey, I need food, so I send them $100 on a Saturday night. That's where your money goes to when you donate me. What's going on with Italy? So if I haven't talked about it already enough, Emmy and I are Catholic. So one of our big dreams is to make it to Italy, because obviously the Vatican, the Pope, it's, you know, the Catholic pilgrimage. We decided this year we want to go to Italy. So our goal is to make it to Italy this year, to go see the Pope, to go see St. Peter's Basilica and all that sort of thing. So we're hoping to raise enough money to go to Italy this year. But with gas prices as bad as they are, I don't think it's going to happen. Planes keep raising the gas prices. They said that flights are going to cost like 50% more by the end of the year. So I don't think we're going to be flying anywhere this year. They keep raising prices, and that's really, really bad. It's gonna cost way too much to fly. I don't believe in religion. I think it's BS. I was there too, but before I was Catholic, I was an atheist. I was a Buddhist. I was a Satanist. I tried it all. So I think most people have to go through a atheist phase where they don't believe in religion, but that doesn't mean 10, 20, 30 years from now you'll see the world the same way. There's plenty of opportunities for change and growth and understanding the world in a different way. So I don't judge anyone who's on their journey. I certainly don't judge atheists. And you know what? I call a lot of religion out for the BS too. There's a lot of fake Christians in America right now who use Christianity as a club to beat other people down and oppress them. And I think that's BS. I definitely am not a fan of the super evangelical Christians they're like right now. There was a Pew study, 50% of Catholics still support Donald Trump. That is BS. That right there. That number should be much lower. I'd be happy if that number was 0%. I'd be very happy. But there's definitely a lot of people who are into religion for the wrong reasons. If you haven't seen it, there's no point in believing it. So that's actually a really common argument, and there's a really good counter argument that I fully believe in. I want to say it's St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas and his natural reasoning. That, you have two different people, and two different people can look out in the world, and one person will say there's no God because you look at this and it's all random. But like I look out at the world and see nothing but proof of God in the world, right? You see how every single creature was created with purpose and intent, and how it creates like this food pyramid, how all these things fit together to create this functioning world. And to me, that's just absolute proof of God. You see the beauty and wonder of the creation and how all these things coexist to create a food chain, how they coexist to create oxygen so the world's inhabitable, all these different things. To me, that's proof. I got you, D4. Keep running. Keep running. Problem solved. How are we here? That's another thing for me. That's more proof of God to me. And that you look around the universe. Are we alone in the universe? I'm not certain of that. I do believe in aliens. I do believe that there is extraterrestrial life out there. But if we look around the universe that we've observed so far, all the conditions on Earth are perfect for human life, and it doesn't exist anywhere else. That doesn't seem to be random. That seems to be intentional, in my opinion. Okay, but question. So if you spoke to Lucifer, if you spoke to the devil, Lucifer, the devil, only exists in the Judeo-Christian religions, right? So the existence of a devil pretty much proves that there has to be an existence of a god, right? Or if you're a Satanist, you would say that well, depending on your form of Satanism, because I know there's multiple forms, that Lucifer would be God. That the proof of one proves the other, right? Big fan of angels. Definitely existence of angels. I mean, Lucifer is an angel, right? Was an angel, is an angel, so the real Dio! Welcome back! Definitely had an experience with God during my prayer. My testimony is kind of wild. Feel free to throw it out there if you want to type it up. We love a good testimony in the morning. As I set myself on fire. Ooh, can we run to the side and get this guy? I think we can. Good night. Got him. Throw that. Back to one. Well, I can tell you about Satanism, because I was a really cringe Satanist for quite a while. I was deep into that. You know, I looked up all the rituals online, all the things to say to denounce God, to be a real good Satanist. And here's what I have come to learn about Satanism from every Satanist most pagans too that I've learned online, is that it's all people who are going online and just making things up. Because like if you talk to a high priestess, like if you legitimately look up like covens in my area, let me find the high priestess in my area, they will tell you about all these different things that you have to do to be a high priestess in the religion. And if you go to a different high priestess and ask the same questions, you're going to get a completely different answer. And that's because they're just making it up. Like, I could go online right now. I could go to some website, highpriestessdegree.com, and I could become a high priestess in 5 minutes, create a website using AI that says that, hey, this is how you do this, and just basically start my own religion, because it's all just made up. I have a high-level medium friend older than me, but I'm a medium, so I only see shadow figures. I don't necessarily not believe in mediums. I definitely have seen some things I can't explain, but I also, just like Satanism and paganism and all that, I definitely feel like a lot of the people you meet online are making it up. They make it up for the clout, to make money. Like, I was a tarot card reader, and God forgive me, you know, I made money off my tarot card reading, and that was fully just making things up. just making things up. Mel's here. Good morning, Mel. Happy Monday. I don't remember the year, but it was when I was living at our house in Ivanhoe and going to college. I was driving to Fresno one day on the back road in the countryside on Avenue 384. I prayed. Keep in mind, I wasn't on any medication, nor was I excessively happy or sad. I was feeling fairly good, as if it was an average day. When I prayed, I asked God, Lord, I love my parents so much. I love them so very much. So why do they have to die? What's the purpose of death in this world? As given an answer, it came to me in the form of vision or experience. The only thing I can remember believing, this is beautiful. This makes sense. It all makes sense. I also had knowledge that I would forget the information I was just given. I don't know if it was in the vision, split second or longer, but I was still driving. Tears of pure joy came out my eyes, and a feeling of intense happiness slowly fading from my body, even though it's as if I don't remember where the happy feeling came from. I had to pull over the side of the road because I was out of breath and I had to wipe my eyes. I couldn't believe what had just happened. I promised myself I'd never forget that experience. That is absolutely wonderful. Praise be to God. I hope your Palm Sunday was peaceful. My Palm Sunday was interesting. Emmy woke up late, so we couldn't make it to our regular church, so we had to go to Vietnamese Mass. And hearing Palm Sunday in Vietnamese was a experience I've never had before. So I got to experience Vietnamese Palm Sunday. And it's weird because I've been to Palm Sunday before, so I knew the readings. I knew what they were going to say. I knew the gist of what they were saying. But Vietnamese is such a different language than English. Like, it was so impossible, like, to keep up. Like, if they were speaking in Spanish or Italian, like, I could probably understand, like, where they were at or, like, the cadence of the sentence. But with Vietnamese, there's no way I could keep up with it. Church history, the logic behind the church Trinity, all of it. I study Christianity and Islam near daily now. Saying crucify him in Vietnamese must have been a trip. I encourage everyone to go to a Vietnamese mass at least once. Go to a mass in a different language. Experience the mass in a language you cannot understand. It is such an interesting experience that you recognize what's going on and you see everything as you typically would, but you don't understand it. It's a very interesting feeling. So go to a Vietnamese mass, go to a Spanish mass. You know, if you, whatever language is near you, go and experience it. It is such a good experience to see. Does the Latin mass count? Yes, it does. But you'll never catch me encouraging people to go to the Latin masses, because the extreme rad trads online have definitely turned me away from the Latin mass and that community. I'm sure the people in real life are a lot better, but the people, the radical rad trads online are something else and a half. I'll tell you what, as Hank Hill would say. My best friend is a traddy baddie. What's your opinion on the Holy Liturgy? Love the Eastern churches. You mean like the Orthodox? I am not educated enough in Orthodoxy to really hold an opinion on it. I don't know enough about the history and the split and all that to really be able to know what to have an opinion on. I try not to have opinions on things that I'm not educated on. I've never seen a trace of Jesus or God in my lifetime of eyesight of the dead. I have never seen a God or a Savior, but only seen angels and devils. Well, have you considered that in itself is a experience from God. There are plenty of saints who have written about seeing visions of hell, seeing visions of angels. Plenty of experiences in the Bible where people didn't see God, but they saw an angel of the Lord, a messenger of the Lord. So maybe your perspective on that is you're looking for something that already is. Going on a pilgrimage of 7 churches, I'm jealous of that. I would love an opportunity to go see more Catholic churches, to experience more masses, to get to see more of those. That being said, unfortunately, I am out of time. It is time for me to start preparing for work, because I gotta go to the actual work, unfortunately. No, it's not a hospital gown. This is a overly stretchy large shirt I got from when I was at my worst weight, and as you can see, it is now a super baggy and loose shirt. I gotta get rid of it, honestly. It's probably about time for me to get rid of this shirt. I've lost so much weight, it doesn't fit me anymore. So it's probably time to retire this shirt, but it helps remind me of all the weight I have lost. All right, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today we continue to pray for the politicians all across the globe. We pray for an end of war. We pray that you help to guide them towards a peaceful resolution to the issues in the world today. We pray for all those who don't have enough, whether it be food, water, shelter, those who are going without. Lord, be with them. We have our special intention for the child who has left the hospital now but is still fighting for his life. He is so young to be fighting and going to the hospital for so many surgeries. Lord, be with him and his family. Help to overcome this great sorrow in their life. We pray for all the souls in purgatory, all the souls who have been forgotten, all the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. And finally, our last special intention, we pray for all those who are sick, all those who are suffering, especially in silence, all those who have ailments we can't see, who are still going about their day-to-day life in pain and misery. Lord, be with them, help to comfort them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Yeah, the stream is ending. We were doing our prayer to end the stream. I unfortunately got to get ready to go to work, which means I got to go get around and get ready and go do my day job. But we'll be streaming again on Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific time, so we'll be back in a few days. But for now, I've got to go get ready. So everyone go and have a blessed day. Happy start to Holy Week. Enjoy your Holy Week. Easter is almost here. Go and have a blessed day, everyone, and we'll see you again on Wednesday.